Well, young voters held a large amount of power in this federal election. For the first time, Gen Z and millennials outnumbered baby boomers. Dr Intifar Chowdhury is a lecturer in politics with Flinders University who researches the youth vote, and she joins me now. How much of the youth vote do you think really played in to particularly the Liberals, the landslide losses that they received, particularly in those urban areas?
So this time around, we've been talking about the youth vote clumping together Gen Z and millennial voters. So we've got 18 to 45, which actually made up about about 48% of the electorate. So obviously that had quite a bit of an influence at how the results played out. Young people tend to be socially more progressive and also very allergic to sort of extreme ideological tendencies that the coalition tried to play. And that definitely, alienate a lot of young people away from the opposition.
Was it? I mean, was it that surprising for you, given what played out here with the youth vote?
Not necessarily, because from my research, what I know that younger generations tend to be issue aligned and can swing based on what the moment demands. And if you look into the election campaign, what the electorate really wanted was stability. It was rather than sort of fantastical policies or divisive policies, what people were after were some sort of stability in an environment of global chaos where they're sort of grappling with hip pocket issues. So it's really not that surprising to me that they chose stability.
You mentioned those hip pocket issues. We know that this was a cost of living election. I want to ask you how gender played a role in that, and particularly how the female voters were responsible for the part of the vote playing out.
Well, female voters, particularly younger females, tend to bear sort of the brunt of the cost of living crisis. They are the ones that got hit by the most. And as we know, the coalition definitely has a women's problem. But what was rather abrasive was policies like, the anti-work from home pitches, which further alienated female voters, not just the highly progressive, highly educated, affluent sort of females in affluent electorates, but also in outer suburbs as well. So that definitely had a massive effect on the results.
There's also been some surprise in the Greens result there, losing two key seats in the House of Reps, being Brisbane and Griffith. We just heard from Adam Bandt a moment ago. The Senate makeup is somewhat different. How do you analyse what we've seen with the Greens result in both the House and the Senate?
Well, in the House first, obviously the Greens had a sharper pitch last time around when climate change concerns were front and centre. But this time around with cost of living, probably they did not pitch as sharply. There was the housing pitch from them, which was quite passionate, but some experts say that it is quite unfeasible in Australia. So what ensued is a number of parliamentary gridlocks, Greens being seen as blockers rather than enablers in key structural reforms that Australia really needs, particularly for housing affordability. So that probably did not play out as the Greens would have hoped. And also with the dwindling Liberal sort of vote in Liberal bases, what happened because we have preferential voting is Liberal voters' preferences are more likely to flow into the Labor Party, who are ideologically closer than the Greens, who are further left. So that kind of makes sense. Adam Bandt also kind of suggested how the Liberal the ex-Liberal voters did kind of like a protester vote against the incumbent Greens in inner city Brisbane, inner city Queensland suburbs that the Greens lost. With the Senate, it's a different story altogether. Voters kind of know that minor parties need to be there in order to check the major parties and make sure that state preferences are taken care of as well. So I think when voters are voting, they have the two types of electoral systems in mind as well.
Intifar Chowdhury, it's been great speaking with you. Look forward to more of your analysis as the days play out. Thank you.